Our business editor Ross Greenwood joins us this hour. Ross, let's talk about that exclusive you had this week with the former New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian. She's now working with Optus, but does she give any clues about her political future?
She does give a significant clue about that, and I pressed her on this a number of times. Gladys Berejiklian is now the head of business enterprise at Optus, effectively trying to get business customers through the door for Australia's second largest telecommunications company. Now, during the federal election campaign, just before, there were suggestions she might be put into the seat of Warringah, Tony Abbott's old seat, or indeed whether there was some other sort of seat that might be suitable for her to enter federal politics. Of course, there are ongoing investigations from the Independent Commission Against Corruption over her that still need to be handed down. So, this was the point that I put to her, that at some point down the future, is she a potential federal politician, state politician, whatever it might be? Here's the answer.
I've taken a decision which I'm incredibly proud of and very excited by. I can't speak for what other people decide, I can only speak for myself, and I'm really, really looking forward to the next chapter of my life, and that's with Optus, with our amazing people, and really making a difference to the organisation, which is what I've always been about.
And you sure you can't be tempted back into politics at some stage?
1,000,000%.
I understand, Ross.
I think people appreciate that once you leave public life. My decision was to go back to the private sector and to work hard, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
We of course considered all the issues and decided the public is smart enough to be able to know what Gladys does at Optus and separate that from her time before in politics.
I mean, 1,000,000% pretty much tells you where her head is at the moment. And given what we've seen now go on in politics at a state level, why would you? I mean, that's a good question.
It's a very good point. I should also point out here that she's talking there with Kelly Bayer-Rosmarin, who is the Chief Executive of Optus. And the important part about that is really just talking about, the reputational issues. If there's an adverse finding against Gladys Berejiklian on Optus as well, this is an important consideration that Optus had to make when hiring Gladys Berejiklian, and they made that decision. And of course, one of the things that they're right now doing is that they've got a significant fight on their hands to try and prevent Telstra from being able to merge its operations with TPG in regional areas. And this is a significant fight that the two of them are having right now. And of course, it goes to the highest levels of government and indeed to the ACCC, the competition watchdog. So it's at that level right now that Gladys Berejiklian is operating in the corporate community and indeed for Optus right now. But the bottom line of it is that she says there is absolutely no way known that she is going back to politics, federal or state, in the future.
OK, that was pretty clear, I reckon. Elsewhere today, you are talking with the outgoing boss of Telstra, Andy Penn. But his last result for the company shows its profits are going backwards. What does he have to say about that?
All right, so this is an interesting aspect as well, because the legacy of Andy Penn is significant cost cutting, plus deals that were done with the national broadband network, and also to be able to get rid of a lot of the infrastructure. Here's the bottom line as to his last results. The revenue is down by 1.5%. The net profit, you can see here, is down 4.6%. The final dividend, though, has been raised for these shareholders for the first time in 7 years. So that's the good side of this. Now, the other aspect of Telstra is it gives pretty good forecasts as to what's happening to the future. You can even see here that the overall stock market, you were talking to Ed earlier about the inflation numbers out of the United States, the US market's roared. This is what's happening to our stock market right now. It's taken off the back of that, and expectations that inflation might not get too high. Telstra shares, well, they're still yet to start trading. They will be strong today, notwithstanding the fact that these results are lower. And the reason for that is broadly because of that increase in dividend, which was a surprise. The rest of the results, not so much of a surprise, and indeed, the forecast for the future suggests a faster growing Telstra than what we're seeing right now.
OK, looking forward to that, Ross. Good to see you. See you soon.
Okay, no problem.